What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Extreme Production Value YouTuber 5000. You know how you know when you click on a Shameless Nerd video that you're getting only the latest and greatest in Shameless Nerd technology and innovation? I set up a second camera angle for this video, and I'm only going to use it for this bit. I don't think I'm even going... Oh, hold on. I think I just peed in my pants a little bit. AKA Reed from Shameless Nerd. Today's video is about my experience having this dumb phone for about 6 months now. If you end up liking this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. You can also join these beautiful people on the screen right here by clicking the join button, whereupon you will get exclusive access to some members only videos, as well as access to every video a few days early. You can also join the bustling Shameless Nerd Discord at the link in the description, and you can email me with any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments about my hair, because I got a haircut that I'm not sure that I like very much, at readfromshamelessnerd@gmail.com. All right, let's get into it. So, first of all, about 6 months ago, I got this phone. It is a Sunbeam Horizon F1 Bluebird, which is a horrible name for a really cool phone. I made a video about it that goes into a lot of detail about the specifics of the phone I got and why I got it. And in case I've gotten some new viewers since then, to summarize very briefly, what makes this phone the perfect dumb phone for those of you interested in getting rid of your smartphone are three unique things. Number one, it actually doesn't have anything on it. The problem with most dumb phones is that they're not actually dumb, they're just stupid. If you're like me and you can't quit social media, even if you're trying really hard, and to the 5,000 people who have suggested in my comments, bro, this is so silly, just have some self-control, I'm sure that advice works really well for heroin addicts as well. If you're like me and you need to limit your access to social media, having a cheap little shit-ass dumb phone like the $30 TCL Flip 3, which you can buy at Walmart, isn't going to work because those phones are cheap because they suck. And they still have a web browser and apps and social media access, and then you'll just be scrolling Instagram more slowly on a shittier screen. The Sunbeam phones are made for a digital detox or getting off your smartphone while still having a nice, capable phone. They have cool features and are super well made. They're not cheap phones, they're dumb on purpose, which actually makes them quite smart. Number two, GPS. The Sunbeam phones have a built-in GPS navigation that works pretty well, but they also have Waze. One of the problems with trying to get off smartphones is not having GPS navigation anymore. It's 2025. I don't know what the roads are named. Are you insane? Well, the Sunbeam phones have GPS and it works great, and that problem is just literally solved. And number three, third, most importantly to me, the hotspot. I am a dumb phone user, right? I think that social media is very addictive and harmful. I've made a lot of videos about this specific thing if you're interested in a lot more detail on the subject. However, I'm not anti-tech. I'm not like a woodsy granola, live off-grid type of person, believe me, look at me. And I also try to approach this subject pretty reasonably. Everyone has a smartphone, and in many ways, the world makes it really, really hard to not have a smartphone anymore. Parking often requires an app. Your job might require you to do that annoying two-factor authentication shit to log into what you need for work, which, by the way, drives me absolutely insane. I hate 2FA so much. If I want to be irresponsible online, then I should be allowed to be irresponsible, okay? I feel much weirder about being forced to let my iPhone scan my face every time I log into my bank app than I do about the hypothetical threat of some hacker guessing my password and taking my tens of dollars. I don't want a separate app to send me a push notification I click on that texts me a code I type into a vault pin pad that opens an iron Faraday cage so I can order a pizza. It's ridiculous. But anyway, a lot of people have to use WhatsApp to keep up with people across the world, or they have bank apps that they need to use, or they're in a long distance relationship and they want to FaceTime, or you have to scan a QR code at a swanky ass stupid restaurant to get the menu, etc. And it's not feasible to just go completely off grid like that for most people, and I get that. So what I do, and what I would suggest, is you keep the smartphone, you turn off the service, you save your $75 a month that you're paying Verizon, and the Sunbeam has a super quick and easy hotspot. It takes 2 seconds to get it up and connected to your iPhone if you need it for some reason, and if you need to use it for something on the go, you just click 2 buttons, you use it for what you have to use it for, and you're done. Those 3 things are the main reason why I went with this specific phone. And I'll give you a few other like kind of logistical tips or like things that I've learned from my 6 months using it real quick, and then I'll go into some super exciting news that I can hardly even wait to share. Seriously, it's like the coolest thing that has happened to me so far having this channel. I'm very excited. So, Reed's top 5 random dumb phone tips and realizations. So I have an iPod. It also has this little dangly thing on it that allows me to connect it to my car via Bluetooth, which is pretty cool. It's called an AirFly. And this is like my pride and joy. I had so much fun setting it up and legally downloading all my music library and everything. But if you don't want to do that, you can still use Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. There are built-in download features in all these apps. I listen to podcasts all the time. All that I do is literally, as I'm pulling out of my driveway before I lose Wi-Fi connection, I go, oh shit, wait, let me download the most recent episode of Ringer Fantasy Football Show or Jarvis Johnson's Sad Boys podcast or whatever. And I click one button and it takes 2 seconds. You can do the same thing with music, albums, playlists that you've made, etc. It really is a non-issue, the Spotify thing. I still think doing the iPod thing is much more fun and it's worth it anyway. But if you're just trying to make the move to a dumb phone like as seamless and easy as possible, I think that's the easiest way to do it. It's really not that big of a deal. Number 2, you save so much money. I use Mint Mobile. I'm not sponsored or anything. That's just what I use. And it is $25 a month. And I've never run out of internet using the hotspot. And you pay on a 3-month cycle. So I pay $25 less than my previous monthly phone bill every 3 months. And then I get 2 months with no phone bill every quarter. And it is crazy how much of a difference that amount of money makes. Maybe you've just got it like that, but I'm a public school teacher, and that chunk of change is more than just a passion pit EP to me. Also, Mint Mobile signal strength has been great for me with literally no exception so far, and I live in a pretty rural, like shitty signal and shitty in general kind of area. I think honestly now with how many satellites orbit our Earth, the different cell service providers probably are actually about the same, which is what I've heard for years and didn't really believe until now. And that's a little anecdotal, I admit, but ultimately you're texting and calling on the phone, like the signal strength is always good enough for that regardless, generally speaking. Here's a quick one, watch this. Look, I just don't care anymore. You always do this. I've been trying as hard as I can for as long as I can, and I just can't do it anymore. I know that you say you're gonna change, but like you never do. You've said that before and you never do. And I just can't put myself, no, I cannot put myself through this anymore. No, I am done. I'm done. Listen to me. I am done. Lose my number. Wrong number, sorry. But look, just to oh my God, that sounded like Jennifer Coolidge. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the hell am I talking about? Number 4, people think it's cool. Truly, I have had more fun conversations with random people about this silly little phone than I have about anything else. Some that have actually resulted twice now in people that I have met in real life at random getting a dumb phone. The novelty of it is very fun and jarring for people. It's like walking around with a golden retriever, but for nerds like us. It's beautiful. And number 5, one of the best things about the Sunbeam phones when comparing them to other dumb phones is that they function seamlessly in group chats. I am a perfectly normal, unostracized member of several group chats, many of which featuring iPhones, and there's no issue with like the newer like RCS stuff or whatever. It all works just as you think you would, and that's a big thing to consider when you're looking at getting a dumb phone, and something that makes the Sunbeam phones really exceptional. Plus, they have touchscreen. Okay, before I move on to the sort of off-putting and preachy, annoying part of this video about my personal experience using the phone for 6 months and how that's been, I have the single most exciting announcement that I've ever gotten to make on this channel, and I'd like to do that now. So when I made the first video about this phone, right, I made it very clear that I was not sponsored by Sunbeam, that this was literally just my phone and I love it and they had nothing to do with it. And now I can no longer say that because this video is kind of sponsored by Sunbeam. And because of that, I get to do something very, very cool. So I got the Sunbeam Horizon F1 Bluebird, beautiful name, rolls off the tongue, right? And after having it for 2 weeks, I went to the beach and I got sand in it and it fried the speaker and it started overheating and smelled like an electrical fire. So I took it apart and removed the speaker module altogether, and for the next 5 months or so it didn't ring anymore or do speakerphone. Luckily the thing vibrates so damn hard that if it was on a table or something it's basically ringing anyway, and ultimately I just kind of got used to that. Well, 2 weeks ago my 4-year-old son thought it would be funny to throw my phone across the room because he was a Siamang Gibbon monkey vampire bat, and as we all know that's what Siamang Gibbon monkey vampire bats do. And whether or not he may have been right about that notwithstanding, he broke my beautiful Sunbeam Horizon F1 Bluebird, as you can see here. So I sent a very sappy and desperate email to Sunbeam support about how much I love their phones, and I linked my channel, and I said, I made a video about your phones and it did really well. Would you guys be willing to like partner with me, please? But instead of a sponsorship deal or affiliate link or something, just like replace my phone, please. I just can't afford another one. I love it so much. I love you. I'm sorry. Amen. May the force be with you. And within 12 hours, they responded and said not only would they replace my phone like I begged for, but that they were sending me this, the pro version, giving me an affiliate link anyway. So if I have convinced you and you want to get one of the Sunbeams, please consider using my affiliate link so I can make a little bit extra money, be a good little boy for Daddy Sunbeam. But also, most excitingly, they gave me an extra one. They literally just sent me the more expensive version of the phone that I already had and sent me one that I don't even need for no reason. So I'm gonna give it to y'all. I made a Google form, which I've linked in the description, and if you're interested in getting a completely free Sunbeam Horizon phone, fill it out, and in 2 weeks, I'm gonna put all the names in a wheel, and I'll pick a winner, and then I'll get in contact with you, and I'll send it to you. I'll even pay shipping. I'm so blessed and lucky to have all this crazy shit happening to me because of this stupid-ass YouTube channel, and so I wanna do something demonstrably nice for you guys who have gifted me this platform. So that's one pretty small, easy thing that I can do. I mean, it was literally free. And if you wanna buy one for yourself and not play in my silly little Zach and Cody Disney Cruised Animal sweepstakes, please consider using the affiliate link in the description to support the channel. Really, really cool stuff. Thank you guys so much, and thank you to Sunbeam, who seem to be just a really cool little company. All right, part 3. What have the past 6 months been like for me? Guys, I hate to be an annoying contrarian douche. Well, do I? I hate to be an annoying contrarian douche, but They've been really, really good. Like, do you know how nice it was to not be on social media during the Charlie Kirk thing? Do you know how blissfully unaware I have been of Italian brain rot memes? They're playing Minecraft about it or something, I've heard, and I'm scared about that. And I'm being silly here, but like, I'm not disconnected. Like, I don't not know what's going on. I'm just not on social media. And now, more than ever, guys, you're just not missing out on valuable information not being on social media. There is no valuable information on social media. Half of it is AI-generated garbage. A quarter of it is annoying internet personalities like me complaining about AI-generated garbage. And the other quarter is still the same cat videos and memes that it's always been. The curation algorithms ensure that you're scrolling through an echo chamber of things that either enrage you or confirm beliefs that you already hold at best. And even then, information on the internet is harder than ever to confirm as true or false in the first place. If you want to be informed and up to date, being on social media is probably the worst place you can possibly endeavor to do that. You don't have to have a smartphone to read Drudge Report or Ground News or whatever way you're consuming the news, those two being good options at trying to be actually informed and not like just preached to or like manipulated. I've said this before, but the internet now more than ever, with AI slop and divisiveness and toxic comment sections and corporate interest ruling over what was once the free and open like internet experiment, the internet should be treated like a newspaper. You live your life in the real world, and every night before bed or every morning before work or during your lunch break or all three, you drop in, you check stuff out, you read up on whatever, and then you get the hell out of there. And you live in the real world. That's the only way. And this is just me trying to make like a logical argument. Because the real argument to switching to a dumb phone is an emotional one anyway. It feels good. I have felt really good for the last 6 months. And I've been bored again. And it is so incredibly nice and freeing and privileged to be bored. You have no idea how much random shit, how much life you are missing out on when you're on your phone. I'll give you a hilarious little example of this. I had a therapy appointment the other day, murdered mom gang, rise up. And in the lobby outside the office, there were 5 people sitting there waiting their turn with their therapist, and they're all sitting there on their phone, neck extended, like head in lap, you know, the posture that everybody has now. And I'm sitting there with nothing to do, just like twiddling my thumbs. And right up to the front of the glass door walks a bunny rabbit. I have wild rabbits in my yard, but I live out in the country. I've never seen a rabbit anywhere near the doctor's office, but I guess they'd like have to be nearby, or this was like an escaped pet rabbit or something. But regardless, I shit you not, this is not a made up story. There was like a little tiny white, like Peter Rabbit ass little bunny rabbit standing in the doorway, just like standing there. And I was the only one that got to see it. Don't you want to see a little tiny bunny rabbit? What could possibly be more joyous than a little white rabbit? And obviously that's a silly example. And I mean, it is true, but more seriously, people ask me in the comments of my videos sometimes, very flatteringly, it is a really sweet sentiment, and thank you. Like, how do you have time to do all this stuff? Because I make a video every week, I have a 4-year-old son, I make music, and I paint, and I do all kinds of stuff. And honestly, y'all, to be honest, I hope that it doesn't come off like condescending or something, but the answer is literally just that I don't have a smartphone. Like I hate to be a dick or whatever, and I hope it doesn't sound like bootstrapsy, but like, you get in bed and you scroll for 2 hours before bed, you sit on your phone for an additional 45 minutes after you get done eating dinner, you spend your lunch break on TikTok. Like, that's just the truth. I have so much free time, guys. It's crazy. I work full-time as a middle school teacher, and I have a 4-year-old child at home. And I have so much free time, it is crazy. Before I picked him up from preschool yesterday, I went on a little nature walk and I listened to the Phoebe Bridgers album Punisher while I walked in the woods for like 45 minutes, and it felt like an entire day had passed. My son doesn't like me to pick him up straight after work because that's when his little class goes to the playground, so in the 45 minutes before he allows me to pick him up, he's such a little diva. In those 45 minutes, everyone that I know would go and just like sit in the car line and like watch Instagram or whatever. I just go and do some like random thing every day, and I'll work on a script for a video, or I'll read a book. Like right now I'm reading So You're Having an Existential Crisis by the maker of the Sisyphus 55 YouTube channel. It's really, really good. Or I'll journal, or I'll play on my Nintendo DS. Like, there is so much time in the day that we are just burning doing nothing, watching AI-generated reaction videos to fake podcast clips about celebrities that we haven't heard of. The value of not being on my phone all the time is really simple. It's just that I get to spend all of my time in the real world, and my anxiety, which used to be genuinely crippling, like afraid to leave my house level crippling, is pretty much gone, and I'm getting in shape. I have more energy to be present with my son before he starts driving. It's ridiculous how fast childhood goes by when you're a parent. It's horrible. My life is so much better, and I'm telling you, honestly, it's just not that big of a sacrifice. I was so afraid to do it, and then the second that I did, I was like, oh, cool, this is great. Like, no drive to like relapse or go back or whatever. It's literally been easy. I'm a huge weenie. Like, if you can do it. And if you fill out the Google form in the description of this video, you could do it for free. But again, if you want to support a real human being being cringy and human and creative and weird on the internet in the golden age of slop, a great way to do so would be buying a Sunbeam phone at my affiliate link in the description. That way it helps me and helps the channel, but it also gets you off your damn phone. It sucks, but Our parents were right. It really is these damn phones. And what's even worse is that now it's our parents who we have to convince to get off the damn phones themselves. So get a dumb phone, whether it's this one or a different one, and then take it home and then yell at your dad about AI generation and algorithmic curation echo chambers. That is a fight worth fighting. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. In today's post-video video, I'm going to post a clip from my favorite video from the days of my initial attempt at doing YouTube, which I've mentioned in the past. This is a video I made about the freecreditreport.com band. I'm going to re-upload it as a members-only video, so if you're really interested, you can become a member and watch it there. And I'm going to re-upload some of these older videos, but I do have to do it behind a paywall, not because I'm like trying to trick you guys into paying me or whatever, but because I have to be very careful about who can see it. Because first of all, I can only trust those who really, really like me to see something so cringe. And also, I think I used to cuss pretty freely in the old videos and I don't want to get in trouble at work. Anyway, make fun of me, please, and enjoy. Or don't. From 2007 to 2010, there existed a band so captivating, so endearing, so versatile, that they single-handedly created a success story of a company whose entire service offered has since been replaced by a free feature on the Wells Fargo banking app. A band who will live on in the memory, especially of people currently in their 20s who grew up singing these infectious songs, as an indicator of a simpler, happier time. A band who captured the hearts of millions with arguably the most iconic musical ad campaign in human history. The freecreditreport.com band. How did this happen? What happened to this band? Who were they? Where are they now? FreeCreditReport.com is a company who now is known as FreeCreditScore.com, whose services include giving you your FICO score, and that's it. That's all they do. You can do the exact same thing in your banking app on your phone for free right now. But it wasn't always this way. FreeCreditReport.com, who changed their name after multiple lawsuits from the Federal Trade Commission, used to be a company whose services were, well, doing the exact same thing, but pretending they did much more, calling it a free service, and charging you for it. So how did such a useless, backward service become a multi-million-dollar company? One word: music. Ah yes, the age-old tale of credit reports and music coming together in perfect harmony is all but cliche at this point, and we've heard it all before. But the story of the FreeCreditReport.com band is one of mystery. For a while, no one knew who these heroes were. Some people thought, myself included, that the band was Swedish rock band Captain Murphy. Some people thought it was the guy from Bowling for Soup. I'm not sure how anyone thought that, but I remember hearing that theory as a kid. But some simply answered, well, they're the FreeCreditReport.com band. And those people were also wrong. Technically, our four poor credit lamenting composers are God against God, but we'll get to that. In 2015, American upstart company FreeCreditReport.com hired a small, Montreal-based marketing firm called the Martin Agency, giving them full creative control over the company's first attempts at a marketing campaign for their services. Why Canadian? Literally just because it was cheaper. The firm held auditions for what they decided would be a musical ad campaign, posting calls for a band that wanted to be on TV. The firm was looking for a band whose frontman was the perfect American everyman, with the idea in mind that the ads would be centered around a relatable guy, and they found this relatable American everyman in Eric Violette. Violette's infectious smile and slightly crooked teeth, his hair, his charming acting, and his capable band behind him were the perfect fit to represent downtrodden Americana. The only problem is that Eric Violette has a super thick French-Canadian accent. Violette lip-syncs every song. It isn't him singing. It's his band playing the music, or at least having learned how to play the songs written for the commercials, accurately playing the songs while the actual songs, remotely recorded by other studio musicians, were played through massive PAs while the commercials were filmed. And the voice of the famous commercials isn't the face of the band, but rather David Mullenfeld, the composer of the jingles. So now we meet our anime's secondary protagonist, the genius behind the scenes David Mullenfeld. And the story doesn't get any less interesting. First of all, David Mullenfeld was the vice president and creative director of the Martin Agency. He wasn't the music guy. In fact, prior to the Free Credit Report campaign, Mullenfeld himself said he hadn't done much musical work since he'd put his synthesizer and keyboard in the closet on his way to college. Now, here's my favorite part. Mullenfeld has a fucking crazy music career now. More specifically, he's the go-to jingle guy for the Martin Company, and he's stepped down from his role as VP to start his own studio, English Major LLC, and he's gone on to do some absolutely crazy shit. Some of his most notable recent work includes the most recent Oreo campaign, Wonderfilled, which has had versions of its main song sung by the likes of Adam
Adam Young of Owl City, Casey Musgraves, Chitty Bang, Tegan and Sarah, and others, a campaign for Walmart with a beautiful song called Little Things, and like 100 more campaigns, including ones for CarMax, Coca-Cola, Comcast, UPS, Simple Mobile, Android, and like a bunch of others. He also releases non-commercial music, which after hours of searching, I am proud to say that I have found. The only article I could find mentioning his personal music said he went by the name This Is Society Dance Music, but I couldn't find that anywhere. However, I found his personal EPK, or his portfolio, where he has 2 songs listed as his own. Violet is also still making music. He's credited the Free Credit Report campaign as what has given him the freedom to do so, allowing him to have a professional studio in my basement, and he and the very same band featured in the commercials make and release music under the wild name God Against God. Now, this is also interesting because upon finding Violet's actual band, we finally get to hear his actual voice, and he has a super interesting sound. Violet says that his band is a weird hybrid of Christian criticism and spirituality, which I do think is a very cool idea, if a little bit strange.
All right, that's enough of that. See y'all later. Love you. Bye.